Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be doing two things. First of all, we're going to be seeding a bunch of our seeds. This whole chunk is for today's planting. And secondly, we're going to be potting up our peppers because I will show them to you. My peppers have gotten really tall already. So I'm going to be potting them up today into these containers. And then in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I will be chopping their heads off in hopes of making a way sturdier plant. Because apparently when you chop them, you encourage growth from multiple stems, something like that. Not sure, I have to do some more research on that. But so yeah, first of all, today is going to be seeding up all of these seeds. But before I can do that, I have to figure out how many cells have to be filled in order to get all of these seeds in the ground. So I'm going to figure out how many cells I need. I'm going to grab my seeds and then we'll get started seeding everything. Before I continue with the rest of the video, the seedlings, I wanted to show you, because as you can see, my peppers so far are a really big success, but not everything is that big of a success. As you saw in the first seedling video, I also planted some kohlrabi, and it is a giant fail. So I believe 4 of this out of 6 came up. These 2 did not even come up. This one kind of sent up this little root you can see here, but there's like the actual plant never came up. These 3 died immediately. This one looked very sad but did something, but now it has also basically died. So my kohlrabis are a big fail, and then my strawberries are also not doing amazing. It's been, wait, I will shut off the light for a second. It's now been, I want to say a month probably. It's now the beginning of March to be exact. It is March 10th, the 10th of March today. So it's probably been a month that these have been in the ground, and as you can see, this cell, nothing came up. I planted approximately 10 in each cell, but there's one that only has 6 seeds, and I believe this is the one that only has 6 seeds. So 4 out of 6 came up here. And when we look at the other side, I have 5 that came up over here and only 2 in this one. So yeah, absolutely big fail. I'm actually quite disappointed at just the seeds because they were rather expensive seeds, I want to say. I think I paid like more than €5 for 10 seeds, which is, compared to the other seeds, it's quite expensive. And so yeah, they're not doing very great at all, even though they are in the conditions they're supposed to be, light. And yeah, anyway, so yeah, the strawberries, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Peppers are doing pretty great. Kohlrabi's terrible. All right, now let's continue with the rest of our seeds. All right, guys, it is now quite a few hours later. As you can see, it's dark out. I was out in the garden all day, doing a bunch of things, getting the trellis for our raspberry setup, also pruning the fruit trees, and I went ahead and I potted up the peppers. So right here you can see all of my pots with my peppers. There's 27, and I went ahead and I put them in the ground right up to the first 2 leaves, so that they get a chance to put out roots all the way down that stem. As you can see, my trees are extremely dirty, and that's because it started raining while I was out there potting these up, and that's also the reason why a bunch of these plants are also a little bit dirty, because they got wet and then the soil fell on them, but that's totally fine. They will dry and then I will brush it off, and then they'll be clean again. So that's it for the peppers. I also went ahead and filled up the cells that I need for my seedlings. I made a whole list over here with all the varieties that I have, and then also how deep I have to plant them, how many seeds per cell I want, and how many cells I need in the end. So here I want 6 plants, 2 per cell, so that's 3 cells, and so on and so forth. Based on that, I then counted how many of these little trays, 12 count trays, I had to fill. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put everything in the ground. Now I do not have enough plant tags, and what I saw in a lot of other videos is that people just use like tape. They stick it on the side of their tray, they write down what each row is, or each plant or whatever, and then they just stick it with some duct tape or something on the side of the tray. So I'm going to try to do that. I hope it will work for me. The only difference is that I don't have duct tape, so I'm going to try to use washi tape, because just normal clear tape you can't write on it, at least not very well. So I'm gonna try and see how this holds up. Maybe I will have to go buy some duct tape if it doesn't work. But yeah, for now I have a bunch of varieties, a bunch of seeds that I want to get into the ground. I will very quickly go over them with you. So this is the red cabbage, red beets, parsnips, lupins, purple lupins, bok choy, chard. I'm going to try kohlrabi again. Gonna give it another chance. I have 4 seeds left. I'm gonna put them all in the ground and we will see what it does. The last 6 did not do anything. Let's see what these 4 do. Lemongrass right here. Cucamelons. First time I'm gonna try this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, so I'm only doing one cell of them just to try it out. Marigolds, and then a bunch of melons, cantaloupes, watermelons, yeah, just melons. And then over here I have all of my tomato varieties, from which most of them I'm going to only plant 1, except for the Roma tomato. For those I'm going to put 4 plants in the ground. And then this one, it's called Primavera. It's actually an outdoor tomato, so it's supposed to be resistant to our climate. So supposedly it can take all the water, it can take diseases. It's a red cherry tomato, so I'm going to get 5 of these started, and then we will see what they do. I will keep you updated on that. And that's it for what I'm planting today. There's going to be another planting session in just a few weeks, where I will be doing zucchinis, corn, green beans, pumpkins as well, and a bunch more things, but that will be for a different video. So for now, I'm going to get these in the ground. I'm gonna hope that my system here will work for me. And then we have a bunch more seeds started for our garden. I just finished seeding all of my seeds, and I also already went ahead and cleaned up my all my tables. I will now show you what it's looking like. So down here I have all of my peppers that I potted up, and as you can see, so tomorrow the grow lights will turn on, and then they will be directly under the grow lights. I switched my light switch down to only have the grow lights of the peppers on for now, until these guys germinate, and then I will connect them so they all turn on during the day. So I ended up making a little plan for the tagging, because I'm not sure if you can see this, but you can't really read what's on there very well. So just in case I can't read it anymore in a few weeks, I just made a little drawing. Over here you can see I have 3 cells in there, and then I drew the 3 cells with the numbers of what I actually seeded in there. So yeah, this is what it's looking like right now. And then over back there I have my tomatoes, and then over here I have melons, and then some other things, but mainly melons in there. So yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. We are chipping away at our garden, at prepping all the plants that will go out in the garden for the next gardening season. We're slowly getting there. I'm hoping that these seeds will have some good germination, better than my kohlrabis and my strawberries so far. But yeah, anyway, we will see what happens. Yeah, it's a learning process, so if it doesn't work out, then at least I can learn from my mistakes, and we can hopefully do better next year then. So yeah, with that, I am going to end the video for today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye guys. It's now Friday. I planted these seeds on Sunday, past Sunday, and as you can see, like the majority of them have already sprouted for me. I am dealing with some mold issues, but whenever I water, I just spray it down, and I feel like it does keep it under control. And then once I pot them up, as you can see with my peppers, the majority of those issues disappears. So yeah, I am going to leave it for now. They are gonna stay under the humidity domes until all of the seeds have sprouted, and then they can just go like that under the lights. But so this is a little update of how all of my seeds are doing, especially my melons here, you can see, are doing very well. I think these were the beets and the red cabbages, so I'm very happy.